Good morning, dear students. Welcome to continue part of social science, that is social studies of fifth standard. So, as we know, we are discussing about the Earth environment, that is unit third. Okay, and we have discussed about the lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Yes, and in this class, we are going to discuss about the next point, that is understanding the ozone layer. Yes, so that is understanding the ozone layer. Yes, so higher up in the atmosphere, the rays of the sun are extremely strong, and this heat converts the oxygen into a gas, and that we called ozone layer. Yes, so you can observe in this picture the troposphere is there. Next one is ozone layer is there, and solar radiation layer, that is the stratosphere is there, and sun's rays are coming from the sun. So so the ozone layer, it is very important layer to the earth, and the ozone, it creates a blanket or the layer around the earth by protecting us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. So sun, it has a very strong ultraviolet rays, and the ozone layer, it's working like a blanket. Yes, so ultraviolet rays, it directly come to the earth, but the ozone layer, it has it reduce the layers, that is ultraviolet rays, and it also moderates the amount of heat and that enters the earth atmosphere. Yes, so ozone layer, it's working like a blanket or the layer. Yes, so it reduces the ultraviolet rays that comes from the sun. Yes, so you can see here and this is particularly useful for people living in the torrid zone. Yes, so torrid zone, because the temperature of the torrid zone, it is very high, so that's why ozone layer is, it is very important to that layer. Yes, and so what we need to understand is that the ozone layer is not the problem. Yes, and it is the thinning of this layer which is causing anxiety. Yes, so the technology developments of the last century led to the creation of new chemicals called chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFC. So ozone layer, it is depleting from the CFC, is that is chlorofluorocarbons. And initially we did the we did not know about the harmful effects of CFC. So manufacturers use them in many different products used in home and offices worldwide. Like, yes, so so you can see here. So there are some common products that ozone depleting substance. So CFC is there, HCFC is there, methyl bromide is there, and halogens is there. So nowadays we are using so many sprays, so it has a chlorofluorocarbons, and it is very harmful to us because it 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 is very harmful to ozone layer. Yes, and that's why if once the ozone layer is damaged, so sun's ultraviolet rain is come to direct to the earth. Yes, and CFC carbon, it is included in refrigerator and AC, and so many different types of fogs are there, that is fogs sprays are there. So it has a chlorofluorocarbon, and it is very harmful to the ozone layer. Yes, by this chlorofluorocarbon, the ozone layer, it may be get destroyed. Yes, and we can see here. So this is a picture, earth's ozone hole. It is a picture, and it is taken by the NASA in the year 1988. So, the nations of the world met to discuss the seriousness of the thinning of the ozone layer, and for the first time since 1988, the ozone hole was smaller in size over the Antarctic Ocean in September 2017. So, NASA, it has taken one picture, so that is showing that the ozone layer, it is thinning. Yes, so because of the chlorofluorocarbon, and the collective efforts of all countries helped in reducing the CFCs in the atmosphere. So in the year 1988, they take one meeting. So they have decided to reduce the CFCs, and now HCFCs are being used in industrial mechanism and refrigerator, etc. So nowadays chlorofluorocarbon, it is reduced, so that's why nowadays HCFC are being used in the industrial machines and as well as refrigerator. Fine. So next one is, over a centuries now we have been making changes to our world to make our life more comfortable. Yes, and we don't own the earth and we are guest here. Yes, so earth, we are the guest on the earth, and let us not forget that if we change our world thoughtlessly, there will be nothing left for the future generation. Yes, so that's why, so we have so many minerals and we have to make a sustainable development. That means we have to use our minerals very carefully, because we have to save our natural resources for our next generation. Yes, so that's why we have to save our minerals. Yes, and so there are some so first of all we need to reduce our needs. That is, we have so many needs and our wants are very unlimited, so that's why we have to reduce our needs, and there are two simple ways of doing it, that is recycle and reuse. Yes, so you can see here, so conservation of natural resources. So how can we save our natural resources? First of all, we have to reduce the our needs. Next one is we have to reuse our natural resources, and next recycle. So these are some methods to conserve the natural resources. First one, reduce. What is reduce? So reduce means uh, our needs and the amount of things we throw away. That is, we have to reduce our needs. So next one is reuse. For example, reduce, for example, if you want to go uh, to our school, so we can go by walk or cycle for shorter distance instead of using automobiles. Yes, and next we don't have to waste our electricity. If we are not using the electricity, we have to switch off our uh, switches. That is, for example, fan switches or light switches, we have to turn off our lights or TV when we are not using. Okay, next one is saving water. Yes, for example, in when we are brushing, so in that time we have to turn off our taps while we are not using. Okay, next one is reuse. So what is reuse? So things which are still in good condition, so we have to use once again that things. Okay, so for example, uh, so buy refill packs of for oils and liquid soaps and detergents. Okay, and next one is use reusable grocery bags and lunch boxes. Okay, so whenever we are going to market, so we have to keep our own bag, so we do not depend on the plastic bags. Okay, and next one is recycle. So recycle means old things to make new things. Okay, for example, many things can be recycled. For example, newspapers are there, magazines and old notebooks and all kinds of paper, cardboard boxes, juice and milk cartons and plastic containers are there, glass bottles are there. Yes, and soda cans are there. So we have to recycle whatever things we have to use again and again that things. Okay, so these are the three methods that very useful to conservation of natural resources. First one is reduce, reuse and recycle. Fine. Next one is so waste segregation. Yes, so nowadays you will notice a pair of dustbins instead of one. Yes, have you seen? So there is green one is there, and biodegradable waste. So green and blue color, it has a two colors types of dustbin. So in the green one, we have to usually mint biodegradable waste. For example, kitchen waste and other compostable waste we have to put in that green one. In the blue, it means dry waste which goes for recycling. So dustbin, it has been divided into two. First one is green one, another one is blue one. Fine. So in the green, So biodegradable goods we have to put up in that green dustbin. In the blue dustbin we have to put some dry waste for and that dry waste will goes to recycle. Next one is noise pollution. Fine. So what is noise pollution? Yes, so the noise pollution, it's from horns of vehicles, aeroplanes, factory machines, and construction sites can damage hearing. So that we call noise pollution. And extra loud music and blaring loudspeakers also pollute the environment and it affects our hearing. And some people even turn deaf. So that we called noise pollution. That means the sound that we can't hear. Yes, so that we call noise pollution. Yes, and it affects our hearing, and some people even turn deaf. Yes, they can't hear. Okay, and the noise level even frightens the animals. Yes, and so in, for example, in the Diwali festival, some dogs and some animals, they are getting trouble from the crackers. Yes, and there are signs on the roads saying no horns are there. For example, if there is a hospital or if there is a school, so the there are some boards for no horns. Yes, and these are mostly near the hospitals, office, schools, and colleges and places of relaxation. And we should respect the rules. Okay, so where there is a no horn, so we do not horn in that region. Okay, so next one is acid rain. So what is acid rain? So when excess sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are released into the atmosphere due to human activity, for example emission from industries and polluting vehicles, etc., so it can lead to acid rain. That means sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide it is when it added in the atmosphere, so that is led to the acid rain. So you can see here, so sulfur dioxide is there and nitrogen oxide is there from, so it is come from the industries, so that's why, so acid rain take lead. Okay, and when these gases meet the water vapor in the atmosphere and they produce acid, which the results in acid rain. Yes, and acid rain, it is very harmful for plants, aquatic animals, buildings, and monuments. So acid rain, that is sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen, so that's why acid rain it comes. Okay, next one is greenhouse effect. So it is a gift given to us by nature. Certain gases in the air trap energy from the sun and keep the earth warm at a sustainable temperature, and these heat trapping gases are called greenhouse gases. For example, when there are more greenhouse gases in the air holds more heat. Yes, and so if the greenhouse gases increases due to human activity, and it will lead to rising temperatures on earth in short, so that we call global warming. Yes. And next one is the global warming has reached worrisome levels, and the world leaders are jointly making efforts to reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases. Yes, so this is all about the our earth's environment. Okay, so in this class we have discussed about the lithosphere, atmosphere, and the hydrosphere and the biosphere. Yes, and also we have discussed about the how our atmosphere is there. Yes, and hydrosphere is there. Yes, and the next one we have discussed about the ozone layer. Yes, why it is depleting? Because we are using chlorofluorocarbons machines. For example, refrigerators are there, ACs are there, so that is very harmful to ozone layer. So that's why our ozone layer it becoming the thin. Yes, so that's why ultraviolet rays are from the sun, they are entering into the earth directly. Yes, and that is very harmful to us. And also we have discussed about the acid rain. Yes, and next greenhouse effect and global warming, and also we have discussed about the noise pollution. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope all of you have understand. Thank you.